Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Ryan from the Nostalgia Factory here, back again with a little bit of another nostalgic gaming comparison video, everybody. So, for today's video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at two legendary classics on the Game Boy Advance and from the famous franchise known as Pokemon, Pokemon Leaf Green and Pokemon Emerald on the GBA. Now, in short, me and the other YouTubers featured in this video, which, by the way, thank you to everyone who participated, we're going to be comparing these two games and deciding in our own personal opinions based off of different aspects of each of the games, which one we prefer to play. Not necessarily saying the one that we don't choose is a bad game by any means, as both these games are very amazing in their own rights. Heck, I actually did a Nostalgic Blast review on Pokemon Leaf Green, so you guys should know by this point that I do like both games. However, we're still going to be choosing which one we personally prefer. Now, in short, ladies and gentlemen, when comparing these two legendary Pokemon titles together, I, without a doubt, would pick Pokemon Emerald, which, if you guys can't tell, an obvious sign is I played this game so much that I've worn the cover off the game. Now, why do I prefer Pokemon Emerald over Pokemon Leaf Green? For one thing, Pokemon Emerald is a completely original game that I grew up playing a ton when I was a kid. It's in my top 10 favorite games of all time, no joke. With all the original ideas that it brings to the table with the new Pokemon designs, weather effects that have never been seen to a Pokemon game up to that point, the graphic upgrade that it had, and overall just the great sense of feeling that the Hoenn region has a bunch of unique cities, different unique islands to visit, great post-game content with going back to the Battle Frontier and battling there and having a bunch of amazing times. The legendary Pokemon designs are absolutely amazing in this game, and overall, the Pokénav feature was a great part too that not many people talk about. The Pokénav feature is where you can talk with certain trainers that you register and the gym leaders in the Elite Four that you can have conversations with and rebattle and talk to each other about rebattling each other. So there's a lot of great aspects of this game without going into too much detail, as I may or may not do a review on this game in the future. But now that I've established why I love Emerald, why haven't I picked Leaf Green? Leaf Green is an amazing game, but more specifically, it's a great remake. Pokemon Leaf Green and Pokemon Fire Red were remakes of the original Red and Blue games. Whereas, Emerald is its own unique entity, this game is a remake. Now, don't misunderstand me. Leaf Green is a great game too. Enhanced graphics, enhanced music, better Pokemon designs, better story implementation, better post-game content with visiting the various islands, getting back Lorelei to the Elite Four, and battling Team Rocket again one more time, as well as fetching a couple of gems for a side quest for Celio on one of the islands. And overall, this game improved on everything established by the first game. But at the end of the day, though, it is still a remake. And in my opinion, Emerald has a lot more original ideas. It's a way better overhauled game, and I'm much more nostalgic for this game than I am Pokemon Leaf Green. I'm very nostalgic for this game. I played this a ton when I was a kid, and I have some funny stories to share about this at some point. However, at the end of the day, if I had to choose between the two, based on all the things I've discussed, Pokemon Emerald takes it for me. Now that we've established my thoughts, let's get into another YouTuber that was featured in this video, Eric Barber, and let's see what he has to say when comparing these two games.
Hey, this is Eric here. I'd like to thank Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor for having me on his show. Now, for the debate topic itself, which Pokemon game is better, Pokemon Emerald or Pokemon Leaf Green? I gotta say, it is a very, very close call because they're both awesome, epic Pokemon GBA games. But I'm going to say the definitive, objectively better Pokemon game, I'm also going to get a lot of flack, Pokemon Emerald, without a doubt. Now, the reasons for this is largely due to the fact that Pokemon Leaf Green, for one, is a remake, so that sort of bumps it down a little bit, in my opinion. But, while Leaf Green is mainly just the Kanto region, I mean, Gen 3 really kicks it up a notch. In my opinion, has better post-game content. It added a few cool, like weather effects and stuff. That was really nice. And you gotta remember the legendaries. I mean, granted, Leaf Green had Mewtwo, which is, without a doubt, one of the best, coolest Pokemon of all time. But, I mean, Emerald had, Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre, Latios, all three Reggies, which, by the way, I mean, they were tough to get. I'd say that was definitely some good post-game content. You also had Latios, Jirachi, Deoxys. I mean, that It was just awesome. The story in Emerald, I will say, in my personal opinion, was a bit more memorable than the one found in Leaf Green. I also gotta say, Emerald also gets bonus points because it's sort of the Pokemon Platinum of Gen 3. What I mean is it takes aspects of Ruby, Sapphire, and sort of throws them all together into one. Like it sort of is the definitive game of Gen 3, whereas people would sort of debate between Fire Red and Leaf Green. So I also think Pokemon Emerald definitely has that going for it as well. But again, they're both great games, both for the GBA. Had a lot of fun with both, but again, I will give my vote to Pokemon Emerald. Thanks for...
And now for the other creator we have featured in today's video, Toxisoris, as you guys might remember from the Pokemon Leaf Green interview, or review I should say. Let us get into his thoughts on the Pokemon Leaf Green and Emerald debate.
Hey guys, Wesley from Toxisoris here. I've been brought back to finish what I started with talking about Pokemon Leaf Green. So, today I've been brought back on to talk about if I would rather play Pokemon Emerald or Pokemon Leaf Green. And boy, have I been torn about this one. It's tough because they're similar graphically, they're similar mechanically, so it's really hard to choose one in this aspect. It's more so I'm going to bring it down to just preference for the time and whatnot. But let's get into this discussion real quick. I already went over Leaf Green pretty detailed in my last video. Maybe it'll be in an annotation or something somewhere. I'm not sure. Basically, you're in Kanto. It's a remake of the first generation of Pokemon. It was made on top of Ruby and Sapphire, with the addition of the Sevi Islands. Now, I like it because I grew up with Gen 1, like playing Pokemon Yellow and all that stuff. Skip ahead a little bit, and you get the Gameboy Advance. You get to play Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. And Ruby and Sapphire were alright. There were a lot of exclusives and all that. So, Emerald had exclusives, but it had more Pokemon than Ruby and Sapphire did. And Emerald, I think the story was better in my opinion. You get more legendaries out of this, and you get more of a choice in what you get instead of just buying a version and being stuck with it. And I like that. And then the post game, you get a lot of Johto Pokemon, so you're not just locked to 3rd generation. And I think that's really cool. The starters weren't as cool to me in Gen 3 as they were in Gen 1, but I grew up with Gen 1, so that's kind of not fair to compare the two. The mechanics in Emerald, they did a little bit different. Like, they changed aspects of the game. The Emerald came out about a year after Leaf Green, I think, if I remember right. They added the Battle Frontier, and that was really useful for learning to be competitive in Pokemon. For me, by the time that Leaf Green had come out, we had already played through Kanto, and it was just a remake of that story. And Emerald was a new story by the time that had come out. And so I have to give it to Emerald just because at the time I hadn't seen anything about that. And so it was just completely different. And it's really tough for me to give it that because I like my Charmanders and my Squirtles and my Bulbasaurs. And I like destroying Team Rocket. But it's interesting, the story with Emerald, with them trying to either increase the land or increase the water, and that's such a weird thing for the bad guys to want. And so I thought it was really cool, and I think they did really well with it. I wish that they had done what they did with Pokemon Gold and Silver, though, where you go back to the other regions, because by that point in time you moved on to better hardware and all that stuff. And that's why Gold, Silver, and Crystal are my favorites, because not only do you get to play through all of the 2nd generation, you get to go back. I don't know much about the hardware. I don't know if they used up all that space. So either way, I think they did good with it. And the graphics looked really well. And so I am going to have to give it to Emerald just because it was a new story. They had more stuff post-game. There were more legendaries you could get in that than you could in Leaf Green. You could get Mew in Emerald, which wasn't even in Fire Red and Leaf Green, which I think was pretty unfair considering that's the poster boy for the 1st gen. That's what they were thrown around for everybody to look at and be like, oh, who's that mysterious Pokemon? And so for them to not give it in that, it's kind of weird to me. So I'm going to have to give it to Emerald. So let us know in the comments, though, what you guys would choose between Leaf Green and Emerald, because I think that'd be super interesting to see. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again later, because I like coming on this channel. It's fun.
And that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. Big thanks to everyone who got involved with this video. Everyone who has participated in this, you guys can find their channels in the description down below. Go support these guys. They're some really creative people. And overall, thank you to everybody who got involved with this project and everyone who provided insight on Facebook while I was asking people, their thoughts on the whole debate. And I got some pretty good feedback. So overall, thank you to everyone who participated either in the video or on Facebook. Either way, once again, if you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you guys want to catch more videos like this in the future and various other projects we have coming your way. And comment down below what you guys thought about this video, on the individual games that we've shared in this video, and which one you prefer if you have any thoughts on that. With all that in mind, Nostalgics, this has been Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor saying, keep on gaming.